Hey tubers and pickers, it's Drew, the California Picker. Welcome back to California Pickin', and an amazing find today, guys, a major home run from the antique fountain pen world. So if you're into fountain pens, antique fountain pens, well, stay tuned. We're going to break some of it down for you. I'm by no means an expert, but we got a nice example here to talk about today. So if you're not interested in fountain pens, well, go check out one of my more than 500 videos. I'm sure there's something there for you. So this is actually considered the gold standard in fountain pens by a manufacturer called Waterman. It was founded by L.E. Waterman in 1884 in New York City. And he's not the exact inventor of the fountain pen, because that goes back a couple centuries earlier, several centuries earlier. But he perfected certain aspects of the fountain pen that made it more usable and affordable, etc. But it was a high-end writing instrument for its day, for sure. And you would have to have a certain amount of money to afford something like this. So let's go to this great example. The earlier Watermans were basically black, hardened rubber, like a tire almost, but hardened rubber. It's almost like vulcanized material. And they started out and used to have to load them with a eyedropper, which was a pain in the butt, you know. So later on, a company called Schaefer actually came out with a pump system that used to draw the ink up through the nib, I guess, and they patented that. Now, I don't know how Waterman was able to use that type of system. Maybe it was slightly different, but Schaefer actually had the patent on that pump system, I believe, in 1912. But this pen is from 1929, and this is from the Art Deco era, right as we're going into the Depression, 1929. So this model pen actually did not do very well because it was the Great Depression. But very interesting. This is made out of celluloid, was the next generation. Now, Waterman made several different models and different colors and styles. It went from black to wood graining, and then it was like a feathering, pulled feather type of design, and then it goes into this marbling, agate, and onyx phase or period, and then they kind of went back to some solid other colors. But let's go check out the pen and just talk about the features, and then we'll get to the values in a second. So this is a screw top pen, and that was good because you didn't want that cap coming off. And Waterman made several different innovations with pens. They made an innovation where you could put this in your pocket upside down and the ink wouldn't drip out. But this actually has a 14 karat gold nib. And the earlier Watermans only used 14 karat gold. I'm trying to get it to focus. Sorry. Anyways, it says Waterman and the patent there. And it has this little gold filled little ring around the cap, and that protects the sides. Later on in other models, they didn't have this little trim which protects the edge, because you would often get cracks right there. But interesting. They also, I believe, were the first to include this riveted clip for your pocket, because the earlier versions used to go in a case or in somebody's vest pocket, etc. So that was pretty interesting. I'm going to have to get this right because there we go. And this one has this raised stepped top. Many Watermans you'll see are just flat. This has a raised stepped Art Deco style top, which was a little progressive style at the time. And then on the bottom, this is a good thing. Try to get this to focus. It's the shape of the world, or the globe. And there it is. That's a unique symbol from the older pens. They got rid of that later on, so that's a good symbol. All the hardware on here is gold filled or possibly plated. And they designed many different price levels for Waterman. They, in fact, did a lot of silver chased and gold chased Watermans. Basically, they call that furniture with repoussé, etc. So real nice, but let's go to some values, guys, because this is where it gets good. So this is from a great site, My Antique Pens. And I know we had a guest on one of our shows talking about antique pens. I don't remember his name, but this is a great site. And I get to this site and we scroll down, and what do you have? My exact pen, the Waterman Emerald Green Patrician. And the nib has the word ideal on it as well. So let's learn a little bit about this pen and Watermans in general. Look at this, guys. The Waterman Patrician is among the most coveted fountain pens still available to collect. eBay lists Patricians ranging from a few $100s to $5,000. I am fortunate to own two Patricians, an emerald green one pictured here above. And it talks about how Waterman came around and started making these innovations over the years. And here's the exact pen you're looking at, is the pen that I have. Found it in 1884 there. So it pretty much talks about the stuff I already told you about. Here's two of them in his collection. Mine is the one on the bottom, the green. It's got the larger nib. And I just want to show this pen real quick. This is an Oxford, what's called a bantam size by a company called Wall Oxford, and that's in the agate. That's in the agate material. Let's go take a look at this pen real quick, and then we'll come back to those values. This one has the smaller nib. That's the number 2 size, 14 karat gold nib, whereas the other one is longer and thicker and has the bigger nib. I'm not sure if that's the number 4 or what that is, but twice the size. And these nibs came in different flexibilities rather, to give you a different writing technique. But there's all the specifications on it. And it talks about the details there. And the time periods. And there's that little pierced band. Gold filled. And there's the clip. And it's marked right there. And then we get to the nib. And that little hole there is called a keyhole. Sometimes you'll find them in a heart-shaped. But really cool. So let's go to the prices, because I showed you that earlier. Let's go to this one. So here, this is a completed listing, page of listings. $2,500, guys. Wow. This one happens to be in the agate material. Let's go look at that. Patrician's Waterman's Ideal Fountain Pen. $2,500, and it had like 18 bidders, or 18 bids rather. So that one's very similar size, same length, same design, with that little pierced collar. 1929, guys. Really amazing. And then we see, look at this one. This just knocked my socks off. Now, you know, they're asking this price, $8,000 for two of them, a set. That's two of them. but doesn't mean they're going to get it. But pretty amazing, guys. So please share on Google Plus and hit like, of course. Home run for the California Picker, no doubt about it. And it's got a little inscription, Noah, to the person who owned it. I don't know, did that survive the flood? Just a great pen. What a home run, guys. So, don't know if I'm going to get $2,500 or $3,000 or what have you, but this is a major home run. So, as I said, please share on Google Plus, Facebook. Go check me out in the Collector's Catacomb Thursday nights, and go like my Facebook page, The California Picker. Keep on picking. Cheers now. Yeah. Bam.